Today what we're going to do is we're going to look at extension 4.2. Most of the content that you're looking at, you've had before. The main idea is what is the difference between a discrete function and a continuous function? And the main idea is discretes are, think of dots, discrete dots, or you could think of them as points. When we look at a graph that only has points and those points are not connected, that's considered discrete. They're isolated points. When I have a graph that has had points and we connected those points and put a line in, that is considered continuous. It's ongoing. Let's keep going and let's take a look at an example. Here's an example of a situation where they took y equals 2x minus 1 and they made a table. And so this is kind of what it looked like. You've got your x, you've got y equals 2x minus 1. You've got a y. They put in the domain of 0, 1, 2, and 3, and they did their work. So like in class, we had y equals 2 times 0 minus 1, y equals 0 minus 1, and you end up with a negative 1. I went ahead and I did 2 times 1. I get 2 minus 1, so I end up with 1. Keep going. And end up with 5, okay? So what they did was they took the ordered pair of 0, negative 1, 1, positive 1, 2, 3, and 3, 5. And they graphed it into this graph. Notice that when the domain is given, meaning 0, 1, 2, 3, we didn't connect the dots. We didn't connect those. They are individual locations. This is very similar to what we did earlier in the year. This is considered discrete, because they gave me the domain as isolated points. In this example, if you remember, we had a graph and we had the starting point, and you're going to notice that this is a ray, okay? This would be considered continuous, because you chose the domain. You had a starting point, it was 0, but I would pick numbers like 0, 1, 2, and so forth. Because you chose the domain, even though it has a starting point, it's continuous because I connect those points. So again, the difference between a discrete graph and table is they give you the domain as 0, 1, 2, 3, or negative 1, 2, 3. Continuous is when sometimes they give you a starting point, sometimes they don't. You get to choose numbers like negative 1, 0, and 1. As long as I connect those points, it would be considered continuous.